During her time as Estonia's Prime Minister, Kaja Kallas made her mark. As a staunch supporter of Ukraine and a fierce critic of Russia, not mincing her words. Now, as the European Union's foreign policy chief, she has to represent the interests of all 27 members of the bloc and to bring them together rather than push ahead. At a time of uncertainty and crisis, we had a chance to catch up with Kaja Kallas here in Brussels to speak about Ukraine, Russia's hybrid attacks and the return of Donald Trump. Kaja Kallas, thank you for talking to DW. As the European Union's top diplomat, you have to deal with many challenges, but I guess that your job has gotten much tougher since Donald Trump's return to the White House. And he is dishing out threats and complaints against Europe. So the US and Europe are still friends?
We are still friends, we are still allies, they are our biggest partner in terms of economy, but in terms of security as well. I had a very good call with the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, this week. We were going over the different parts of the world where we cooperate and also seeing where we can do more. So I'm quite positive that we have a good relationship.
And in your first phone call with Secretary Rubio, you spoke about maintaining pressure on Russia. What did he tell you? How is the US trying to end the war in Ukraine?
They are understanding that to end this war, we have to put the pressure on Russia because Russia is the one who started this war, and Russia can also end this war by not bombing civilian infrastructure and withdrawing its troops from Ukraine. And therefore, we need to put the pressure on them. I think the understanding is there. Also, President Trump has been very strong in his statements towards Putin. So I guess we see the picture quite similarly.
But what did he tell you about their strategy there and how to work together maybe?
Well, of course, we will have to also meet in person and to discuss these things. But it's clear that they want to end this war. Everybody wants to end this war because everybody wants there to be peace. But it's also clear, and that was also what he said, it's clear that the peace has to be sustainable, not the ceasefire that would bring just more wars that we have seen before, but really a peace that would mean that we don't have a new attack from Russia. We have to keep in mind that Russia has been investing 9% of its GDP to a military industry, so we really need to be strong here to send the right signals.
But was he committal in his phone call, and was it rather like him saying, "Oh, I need to talk to Donald Trump about your idea"?
No. He was also expressing these ideas. So he took the topic up, and of course we will need to discuss more how this all will go and how we can develop our cooperation further and understanding as well.
And Donald Trump has put the European Union on edge with his threat to take control of Greenland, using economic pressure or even military force if needed. The EU military chief proposed to station European troops in Greenland. Is that a good idea?
There are words said, of course, and this is something that we need to listen to, but at the same time, it's clear that the United States is party to international agreements, international agreements that say that you have to respect territorial integrity, sovereignty of another country, and I have no doubt that they intend to do so.
But stationing European troops there, is that a good signal?
We haven't had a discussion about stationing any troops.
Another topic that is important to the European Union at the moment has been Russia's hybrid attacks, including cutting communication cable and hybrid attacks or cyber attacks. And European politicians have been speaking about a robust response. But what are the concrete measures that you can take to counter Russia's attacks on Europe?
It is true that we are seeing this different hybrid attacks, whether it's cyber attacks, whether it's sabotage, whether it's different arsons, all these things. We see them across
People
Europe.
could die in such attack,
exactly,
right?
and that's why I think we should avoid making a mistake of treating them all in isolation. That clearly sabotage is on the rise in Europe. So what we do with this, first, raising of awareness is extremely important to understand what is happening. Second, of course, we have different missions, a NATO mission now, really observing the cables and trying to defend and protect the cables. But it's also the sanctions that we have done on Shadow Fleet, for example, on the cyber attacks now. So we, need to raise the awareness, keep an eye, consult with each other, and react accordingly.
But you see there a pattern that Russia is becoming more and more risk-friendly in that area.
It is true. We see sabotage on the rise in Europe, which is very worrying. And, sometimes I see that there is maybe willingness or this will to see that, this is not what it is. But that's why I say we shouldn't really see these events in isolation, but part of a bigger picture. And to understand that Russia has tensions towards Europe and European security architecture that they haven't changed.
With the US commitment to the transatlantic relationship in question, Brussels is now in talks with the UK to agree a new defense and security pact. But what could be the goals of such a pact on top of the cooperation already existent at NATO?
Not all European countries are in NATO. So yes, we have 23 members in common with NATO, but not all are there. And it is clear that UK and European Union are the most logical security and defense partners. And this is the cooperation that we want to develop further because the security situation that we are in.
What are your plans for such a pact?
Currently, the consultations are ongoing. What could be there? And of course, we have 27 member states that all should agree to this. Of course, we also have the experience from Brexit, and the scars haven't completely healed. But I think the first steps we need to do to enhance our cooperation, and that is logical that these steps are in security and defense.
Let me allow a personal question, if I may. How has it been for you, this transition from being a prime minister and now the EU's top diplomat?
Well, it's definitely different. As prime minister, you had I had 3 coalition partners that I had to always understand what they want and what are their worries. And now I have 27 countries with 27 coalitions, and that I have to constantly consult and understand what are their worries. Plus, the whole world where European Union is acting. I think this time we have right now is very challenging, but at the same time, it also gives European Union the opportunity to really be a big geopolitical player on the world sphere, because the steps that the new US administration is taking is making all the other countries also look to European Union, because we are the predictable partner, we are the stable partner, we are the partner that really cares about human rights and different values like we have so far. So that gives us also the opportunity to grow our geopolitical power.
But to show this role, we have to become more confident, and or do you see this way?
Yes, we have to be united. That is our strength. And of course, all our adversaries want to divide us. And sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's less hard. But we need to be united, and then we are strong.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.